Let's try a virtual weather balloon experiment so we can explore some different properties about Earth's atmosphere. We're going to start by looking at temperature, and then we'll look at air pressure at different levels of altitude, so different heights moving up from sea level or the surface of the Earth. Okay, so we're going to begin by changing the spacing of our balloon sampling areas. So our balloon will take a sample from each of the dotted line areas and will send us back information about the temperature reading from those spots. We get 4 balloon flights, so we want our spaces to be kind of big enough that we can get all of the altitudes covered in our 4 launches. So I think we'll give this a try. This looks like a good kind of spacing here. So I'm going to click on Launch Balloon. And you can see that the temperature looks like it's going from about 20 degrees, that's sort of room temperature, and it moves down as we go up in altitude. So it gets colder as it goes up in altitude. Does that make sense to you, or does that look unexpected? Okay, so let's try again. We're going to move our samples up and try a new area, so some new altitudes. I'm going to click on New Flight and launch our balloon. Oh, and now we're starting to see a shift back. So let's try one more adjustment and see what happens here. Okay, so it looks like we have a pattern so far of decreasing temperature, and then we get the shift and temperature begins to increase as we go up in altitude. Do you think that pattern is going to continue, or do you think we're going to see a change again? Let's move our samples up again, our sampling locations, and we'll go up like this. And we see one final shift there. So we've used all 4 of our flights, but now we have some data. And you can either capture this data, or you could try again and sort of hit this button down here and repeat in order to collect samples from different areas. But I think we have a pretty nice trend that we can see. Let's move along and try air pressure. We can do the same sort of thing. So we can move our sample locations around so that we get good coverage of all altitudes and launch our balloon. And is this trend looking similar or different from what we saw with air temperature? And I think we can flip back here and actually see the temperature data. They almost look identical. Let's move our points up and try another balloon. Okay, instead of getting a shift back like we got in the temperature readings, now we're starting to see air pressure just is continuing to decrease. Air pressure is getting really close to 0. Let's move up our data collection points and try again. And then one last time. All right, and there you have it. We have air pressure and air temperature data from 4 times 4, so 16 different locations in altitude throughout the atmosphere.